Hello viewers, we meet on yet another episode of Crime Watch, a program brought to you by your police service, the Zimbabwe Republic Police, to create a conducive environment for police-public partnerships in fighting crime. I'm your host, Tendekai Dandarasi. It's good to have you along. We start by looking at COVID-19 related issues, where the Zimbabwe Republic Police continues to remind members of the public on the COVID-19 regulations. Let us hear more from the ZRP National Spokesperson, Assistant Commissioner Paul Nyati.
The Zimbabwe Republic Police urges members of the public to comply with all COVID-19 regulations which have been put in place by the government for the health, safety and security of all Zimbabweans. COVID-19 is real. COVID-19 affects all of us. And as the police, we are concerned because since the 30th of March 2020, a total of 139,270 people have been arrested for contravening various national lockdown regulations. So it is in the interest of each and every person, it is in the interest of each and every Zimbabwean to comply with all the safety measures which have put in place. Above all, we implore supermarket operators, supermarket management, bank management, and also other institutions to ensure that as people queue to access various services, they practice social distancing, they wear masks, and there is no need for anyone to be complacent. Let's put our health first. Let's prioritize the health of others so that we can all survive in this COVID-19 pandemic. Police are also concerned with the pirate taxis, with the Mishika vehicles, including some combis, which are moving at night. And these combis are contravening lockdown regulations. They are putting the lives of people whom they will be carrying in danger. And we are having some accidents which are occurring late at night, which is a cause for concern. And we are also warning those people who are now in the habit of operating shebbeens that it is against the law for them to operate shebbeens, and the police officers will move around and ensure the law is complied with to the latter. I also want to urge Zimbabweans to take note that the country is under a curfew order which runs from 1800 hours of the day up to 0600 hours the following day. And this curfew order has been put in place for the benefit of Zimbabweans. Let's cooperate, let's stay at home and be safe.
The Zimbabwe Republic Police will continue to ensure security of Zimbabwean lives and property. We also urge you to cooperate with us by putting measures to secure your property and safeguard livelihoods. A local security solutions company gives us tips on how to do this, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic era.
As a security service provider, we recommend some solutions that you can use to secure your property and also to prevent your employees from contracting the COVID-19 virus. You can decongest your offices by allocating employees different times to report for duty. If you have got alternative sites where some employees can work from, you are recommended to have some employees transferred to those alternative sites. At the workplace itself, it is also prudent that you do a risk assessment to identify the hotspots where your employees are likely to contract the COVID-19 virus. When accessing premises, we usually use keys. So it's prudent that when you are handling keys, you should use sanitizers to sanitize the keys and also sanitizers to sanitize the places where those keys are kept. And all people that handle keys should wear gloves. Then the other hotspot is also the access control systems, like the access control keypad. If funds permitting, you can replace the traditional keypads with facial recognition systems where the employees do not need to touch the keypads. Or preferably, employees can be issued with access tags. Then another hotspot is also the door handles, the workstations, the equipment that is used in offices. When employees are working, They should avoid exchanging equipment like telephones, ballpoint pens, and the like. Then the other issue also is to restrict visitors from coming to your premises. It's wise to use online methods to keep in touch with our customers, with our suppliers. The other area that you can also focus on is the access of vehicles. Vehicles should not be allowed entry into the premises. And where it's really necessary that vehicles enter the premises, make sure that you properly sanitize those vehicles by spraying them. Then lastly, it is prudent that you get a consultant or a security company to revise your security needs. So it means that your response to the COVID-19 virus brings some changes to your security setup at the premises. So when you are making those changes in response to the COVID-19 virus, you also need to revisit the area of security.
Moving on, CID Mutare swiftly reacted to a tip-off to the effect that there was a suspect who was selling property suspected to have been stolen. They arrested the accused person, Prosper Muyambo Tatanga, age 30, and recovered various property.
Takareceiva urunyere kupe wokuti pane tsotsi rari chitengesa zvinhu zvaifungidzirwa kuti zvazvabiwa. Ndakamhanya nechikwata changu kwakubata mukomana uyu tokuona kuti aitwa pa wanted person list yedu. Mukomana ainzi Prosper Mulambo Tatanga. Takabudirira kutora zvinhu zvaainazvo ndokuenda naye kumaofisi kwatakanomubvunzurudza. Akatiudza kuti anga azviba kuarea yeGimboki. Akatitungamirira mukomana uyu kwanga aba zvinhu zviya zvaisanganisira masola, chikafu nehembe dzokupfeka. Takazoenda naye kumatare akanopuwa makore 3 mujere. Asi akataura kuti aipara mhosva dzake idzi nomukomana anonzi Stanley Matonore. Zvisineiwo takagamuchira zvakare runyere kupe kuti Stanley Matonore anga aonekwa achida kutengesa imwe property zvakare muSakubu. Takamhanya nechikwata changu ndokubva tamubata. Akaclear 10 cases dzaman law of entry. Ndaipa kutenda kukuru kune veruzhinji neinformation yavanotipa maringe nezvematsotsi notibatsira zvakanyanya. Then ndaipa kukurudziro kune veruzhinji kuti kana pamba paparwa mhosva varipote nhau dzavo.
Isso tiri kufara because zvedu zvese zvinenge zvawanika. It's rare kuti munhu abirwa, I think a day, 2 days after watodii munhu achizvazvo zvawanikwa.
Crime Watch takes a short break. Join us in the second segment. Welcome back to Crime Watch. The Zimbabwe Republic Police is concerned with people who continue to flout lockdown regulations, more so by indulging in illegal activities. Recently, CID Drugs and Narcotics Harare intercepted 2 trucks which were involved in smuggling.
As CID Drugs and Narcotics, we developed an interest after seeing the proliferation of the illicit sale of pharmaceutical drugs and veterinary medicine in Harare. We established that these substances were being smuggled mainly through Kanyemba border post, and we planted a team of police detectives for surveillance. The team managed to intercept a 15-ton truck and seized 190 bales of second-hand clothes. The estimated street value of these second-hand clothes is 4.5 million Zimbabwean dollars. As CID Drugs and Narcotics, we will remain firm on the ground to curb the smuggling of illicit substances into the country.
In the other truck, police discovered some pharmaceuticals hidden inside second-hand clothes which were stashed in bales.
What we are seeing here is a consignment of illicit pharmaceutical drugs and second-hand clothes that we seized after our investigation on the proliferation of illicit pharmaceutical drugs on our streets in Harare. We then carried investigation that led us to Kanyemba, where we busted a syndicate that was smuggling in the contraband. The bales have a street value of 3 million and the street value of these illicit medicinal drugs is about 500,000. To members of the public, I encourage you to work hand in glove with the police in fighting the scourge of crime in Harare, particularly the abuse of pharmaceutical products. And to smugglers, I want to warn you that we are seriously following your steps and we shall catch up with you.
We call upon members of the public to continue giving us information that may help to stop such criminal activities. Meanwhile, Banket Police is concerned with criminals who are derailing agricultural productivity by committing a series of crimes. Let us hear more from the officer in charge, Banket Police.
ZRP Banket policies an agro-based economy. We normally have farmers who produce maize and soybeans. We also have tobacco growers. The problem that is affecting farmers here is vandalism of ZESA infrastructure, a key resource needed for irrigation. We managed to intercept criminals that were vandalizing ZESA infrastructure. We arrested 3 criminals and recovered copper windings that were already vandalized. We managed to refer them to court and they were convicted and given 10 years each. We also managed to intercept a Toyota Mark 10 that was used as a getaway car to transport the loot that was taken from a vandalized ZESA transformer. We managed to recover 2 windings, and the criminals also were referred to court and were convicted and given 10 years each. Recently, we managed to arrest a syndicate that was stealing irrigation pipes from wheat fields. We managed to arrest 2 criminals that were convicted and given 4 years each. We encourage members of the public to work hand in glove with the police so that we achieve a crime-free environment in Banget.
In Mangura, robbers had been targeting isolated shops in farms and pounced on them. And in one such incident, police managed to arrest these culprits and recovered various goods. The officer in charge gives us more on this story.
I can confirm that ZRP Mangura arrested 3 accused persons, namely Daniel Musondo, Evans Chipunga, Masango Nganza. These 3 accused persons approached a shop attendant who was asleep, armed with iron bars. They knocked and forced the door open. They then took the groceries and some batteries. The complainant managed to report to ZRP Mangura. We received information, a tip-off to the effect that the accused persons were now loading the stolen loot into their houses. My details related swiftly to the houses of the accused persons and managed to arrest the first accused person, which is Daniel Muzondo. They recovered some groceries which were hidden in the wardrobe and also a battery. This led to the arrest of the 2 other accused persons. I want to thank the community in Mangura for their cooperating with the police.
We take a short break. Join us in the 3rd and final segment. We are now in the 3rd and final segment of Crime Watch, and thank you for staying with us. Police in Bindura have arrested 3 accused persons for the murder of Americo Stole. Detective Assistant Inspector Rachel Mteweri gives us the story.
The Zimbabwe Republic Police Criminal Investigation Department, CID Bindura, arrested 3 suspects for a murder case which they committed in Bindura. Circumstances are that on 29 March 2020, the now deceased, who was in company of a friend, came across the suspects who were carrying out mining activities in the middle of the road and approached the suspects, urging them that what they were doing was bad and that they were destroying road infrastructure. This did not go down well with the suspects, who then turned violent towards the now deceased. Using an iron rod, a shovel, and a pick, the suspects then assaulted the now deceased, who later on died as a result of the assault. The suspects have since appeared at Bindura Magistrate Court and were remanded in custody. We are appealing to members of the public for any information that may lead to the arrest of the outstanding suspect, Mike Lyson, who is believed to be residing in Bindura. We urge members of the public to respect the sanctity of human life. We are also grateful to members of the public for supplying credible information that led to the arrest of the accused persons.
We now look at traffic issues, where human error has been cited as the major cause of road traffic accidents. The Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe continues to urge drivers to exercise maximum concentration when they are driving.
Distracted driving. This is the worst recipe for disaster on our roads, because the driver is the main actress in the road safety matrix. The driver has a lot of responsibility, actually full responsibility of driving to arrive alive. You as a driver must never be distracted. Physically, it's about those things around your cabin, those things or on your dashboard, those things like music, trying to change your music or on the player, or trying to be chit-chatting with the passenger next to you or behind you. The passenger next to you could be a loved one. You need to have the internal discipline to concentrate on your driving and advise the passenger, no matter how loved they are, that you love their life, so you must drive them to arrive alive. There's also the emotional and psychological distraction by the driver, the thinking of the driver about a problem external to the driving job. The problem is not there. The problem in this COVID-19 containment and prevention, this pandemic which has become the new normal, might be pestering the mind of the driver. Or there are certain domestic issues which warrant the driver's mind to migrate from the driving job. At the end of the day, you see the driver running through a red robot. The driver not staying alert even to road traffic signs, signals and markings, humps ahead. You are literally flying over humps because the driver's mind is not on the driving job. What happens? Driving against a one-way. You know we have one-way systems in terms of our road network. Failure to identify a pothole in time, hitting into a pothole, is a function of a driver who is distracted. Some drivers go to the extent of driving off the road and crashing into pedestrians or embankments. We have witnessed these fatal crashes because of a distracted driver. The other form of distraction, which is a disturbance, is drunk driving. It is illegal to drive under the influence of alcohol, the influence of intoxicants, drugs. Chidzungu chaunoita uchingwavha uri pasteering hachidi izvozvo. Chidzungu ichocho chinouraisa vana vevanhu, vana mai, vana baba vari kufamba or using the same road, because that road haisiye munhu one day edu tese. Another cause of distraction ndekuti iwe uri kuziva kuti kune curfew, uri kuita dilly-dally. You are not supposed to be on the streets during curfew. You find yourself driving during curfew. Maybe 7 p.m. We advise that you plan your trips so that you are going to make sure that you start your trip and finish that particular trip within the guidelines of the curfew set up by government. We must all be law-abiding citizens.
We now move on to people who are on the police wanted list. Rujeko police are looking for Tafara Mashavakure, aged 27, who last resided in Manyamana small-scale mine in Mashingo for a case of assault. Richard Dibula, aged 22, of Magwegwe village, Chief Nduwane Gweru, is being sought by FL Flats police for a case of stock theft. Borodo police station is looking for Moses Magamba, who resided in Heathcliff, with no clear address for a case of assault. Anyone with information that may help in the location of these people can contact any nearest police station or reach us on the following details. Our National Complaints Desk number is 0242 703 631. You can also visit our website www.zrp.gov.zw or email us on feedback@zrp.gov.zw. Alternatively, you can link with us on our Twitter handle @PoliceZimbabwe or like us on our Facebook page, Zimbabwe Republic Police. Be reminded that all Crime Watch episodes are accessible on our YouTube channel, Zimbabwe Republic Police. We encourage you to wear your mask all the time, sanitize regularly, and stay at home. We also encourage you to adhere to lockdown regulations. Together we can fight COVID-19 as much as we fight crime. From me, Tendekai Dandaradzi, and the crew behind the scenes, pleasant viewing.